Let's do it. For the Pledge of Allegiance, and afterwards, I guess everybody knows we lost our ex-mayor, and we'll have a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Let's get to it. Wax over your head. Knock your ass out.
I don't know what it
Hello, Kathy.
is. I didn't get one.
You can't read that now.
You didn't get one?
When was I supposed to get it? Today?
Mama?
There you go. I was gonna say, you can,
Did I give you a budget thing? I thought I threw it over.
Well, Billy gave me everything that you gave
Do
me.
the roll call now.
Or share.
You
No?
ready?
I don't know, but my pen's gone.
here, you can have this one.
Thanks.
Here.
Yeah,
This one is mine.
that's okay. Here, you can have this one.
Okay, pass them around.
Okay, roll call. Mr. Heaton.
Here.
Mrs. Helbig.
Here.
Mr. Bob Tate.
Here.
Mr. Seibert.
Here.
Mr. Jake Tate. Mr. Jason Heaton.
Here.
Mayor Cogley. And Mr. Soyson.
Here.
Where are they?
Do you have any correspondence?
No. Oh, yes,
Yes,
just
you do.
one. Yes, we do. We have an important message from
Chief.
our chief of police, who has requested our support for a grant application for the police department to get 6 new police cars. And they kindly provided us with a letter to send to the state requesting this, which I'll read to you so that you know exactly what we're doing here. Dear members of the Commonwealth Financing Authority, on behalf of the council members of West Mayfield Borough, we extend our support and request your consideration in awarding $486,600 to the City of Beaver Falls Police Department for the purchase of 6 new police vehicles, including all upfitting costs of the vehicles. Since 2012, our community has proudly received expert police coverage by the Beaver Falls Police Department through an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Beaver Falls. West Mayfield Borough knows firsthand the expense of maintaining the equipment and personnel of a police department and the strain those financial needs can create on community budgets, as we once had our own police department. Many of the current vehicles in service for Beaver Falls Police Department are more than 8 years old, with high mileage and obvious physical and mechanical wear and tear. The repairs of the aging vehicles are becoming more extensive and even more costly. However, the tax base and available funding for the Beaver Falls Police Department has not increased to cover these rising expenses. Unfortunately, the funding to purchase new vehicles for Beaver Falls is a necessity, and those costs must be distributed to the tax base that they serve and protect. West Mayfield Borough residents cannot afford to absorb a substantial tax increase, which would be needed if the cost of police services increased to provide the needed funding to purchase new vehicles. Our community members are grateful for the prompt, professional, courteous, and respectable police services they receive around the clock from Beaver Falls. Again, we request the Commonwealth Financial Authority's thoughtful consideration in your review of the City of Beaver Falls statewide local share account grant application for the purchase and upfitting of 6 new police vehicles, and request the full funding of $486,600 be awarded. Regards, Robert Tate, President of Council, West Mayfield Borough.
I don't think we need any discussion on that. I
You
think.
did a
Well, thanks.
well-written letter. That's fantastic.
I think we can
Yes.
just go ahead and get a,
Did you actually write that letter?
No, it came from Chief
kidding?
Johnson. But I had to provide the name of who was gonna sign it.
Oh,
Motion to approve.
it was so.
I'll second it.
Second, yep.
all in favor?
Yes, yes.
Opposed? Okay, let's do it.
Okay, Jason, it's
Jason?
all yours.
There was an oversight on the original budget for the street, for the lighting of $19,800, if I'm not right.
Yeah.
So I called the assessor and he told us what our current assessment is and how much it is per mil. Basically, take that and divide it by 1,000. Our current millage is 2.2482, which means we pull in approximately 172,763 and change. If you're looking at the paper, the next line down, if we raise it up 0.5, you will see that it will pull in about an extra $38,000. That would make up for the deficit and leave 18,000, almost 19,000 left over. So on, if you go to 3, you have 57,000, close to 58, 3.25, 76,000, and 3.5, 96. Now, people are gonna be asking, how much is that gonna cost me per year?
Hey, well.
Below that, there's a table going from 10,000 all the way to $200,000 for assessments. Your first column, or your third column in is how much is current, is 2.2482. If we raise it up to 275, 3, 3.25, and 3.5. That'll be your yearly totals, what it would be per year, not a difference. So say you're at $50,000, you're currently paying $112.41, you would go up to $137.50.
A rough increase of $25.
I'm good.
That's on 50,000.
That's on.
That's
point-
on,
That's on, 0.5.
That's a 0.5. If you look at the top, I put yearly divided by 1,000, and then the millage.
So an average house in this community, what would you say, 115 to 125?
120, I think.
So at 120, it's going to go up,
$61.
okay. It's gonna hurt, but I say we do, I mean, we got to.
We don't have much of a choice unless we
Yeah.
take money off something else.
Yeah.
And right now, streets is pretty much as low. So,
So we're going to the first one. It's gonna bring in, how much again?
$38,561.05.
Okay, I see it.
All right.
And after we correct the deficit, that would
Leave 18 left.
leave 18,761 to add
Right.
to the
Back to the budget.
expenditures.
And then where do we, is that what you guys think, 0.5, and then maybe do it, see how that goes, and if we need to, we'll do it again next year, instead of
'Cause it's-
jumping up too much at one
Yeah,
time.
it's been almost 20 years since we raised.
Everybody already got hit hard last year this year with the county.
Yeah,
You hate to hit them too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go to if you go straight to 3, that gives us, that'll still only give us 37 extra in the budget, 38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I know, I keep looking at this and it's like,
Well, how much extra is that on a $125,000?
I mean, it's not that we don't.
125,000. We're currently paying.
That's $100 more per about 96.
So just figure 100.
Yeah, about $100 more.
$93, $94.
That's gonna hit me pretty hard.
Me too.
For the ones that have a lot of property, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You,
I have one
Tom?
house, I don't care.
And that's only at 125.
Wanna send this to Daddy?
but do you wanna raise taxes every year, or do you wanna raise taxes
I
once?
think if we go slow, we're better. Do it this year and do it next year.
Raises it 275. Just so we get rid of the other 18.
We don't have much choice, we have to do one or the other.
Well, what do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know, I keep.
It'll
looking
get
at-
us out of
I keep
deficit.
looking at 3 and it's like,
We go 0.5,
So
it
much
takes
more.
us out of the hole.
Yeah.
And we get a little bit to play with.
I mean, nothing's gonna, no amount on here
it's gonna be
is
enough.
gonna be
I know
enough
that.
to take care of all the roads and all
But
of
don't
that.
want to kill all the residents either. with
No,
the
That's what
raise.
I
I'm saying.
agree.
With having the county do that this year, it's adding insult to injury.
Would Aqua money coming in next year help with anything?
Sure.
If it comes in.
If it
If it
comes
goes,
in,
right,
but
right,
it's
I
not
just-
We've been hearing that
guaranteed.
for 2 years.
I can tell you right now, mine,
Joe
last
done.
year, when they did this stuff, I'm paying $1,000, actually it's $1,100 more than what I was paying.
Mine went up 6,000. That's with all my properties. 6,000 more this year than last year.
So just go up to the 275 and just go from there.
How much are we supposed to get from Aqua?
I can't remember.
That's still,
It's
We're not
still-
exact.
It's
And so much of
still,
that has to be spent in sewers, and so much of it can go here.
yeah,
But that'll
And they
free up
haven't given
other
us-
money that we put in the sewers.
a
Not
set
much
amount
there.
yet.
Yeah,
In the
that's true.
Yeah, and we're gonna have
Because we
anything
cut,
for
we
roads.
cut the heck out of it to begin with, and you don't have enough to even do roads.
Yeah,
That's what I
cause,
said, we have nothing for roads.
yeah, 'cause right
That's
now,
what I'm
we
saying.
only have $30,000 in the streets. That's all we've got in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And putting 18 only gives you 48, that's why I said.
Yeah,
Can I say something to Pat? Megan?
Sure.
We're not allowed to increase more than 10%. How's that gonna affect this over the previous year?
What do you mean allowed? What do you mean we're not allowed to increase more than 10%?
that was only for the first year. I wasn't aware that it was for this,
Then I don't know.
I don't know either. I did not ask that
We
question
probably
to
should
Josh.
Find out before we,
Yeah, but we,
So you guys think it's better to just start
Is-
slow
Oh, yeah.
and then do whatever we need to do next year?
okay,
Cause they're gonna hate us anyway.
do your math. If we're getting 172, 763 now, and we go to 275, what's 10% of the 172 and add it on?
10%?
Yeah,
10%. 1720.
if you, so add that on to that, does it,
Add that on to,
to the 172?
One 72763.94.
that's digital.
Okay.
172, 780. I can't read.
Mhm.
172, 763,
No, after one hour,
94
unless you have to
times
pay.
10%. That's better. Now add that to 172. That'll take us up to 190.40, 33 cents.
So we can't even do,
That would be a 2.47. And I still wouldn't even take us out of deficit.
yeah,
Now, how can the county raise it more than 10%? We
yeah,
can't.
I thought that was just for the first year of the thing, but I'll have
That was
to,
just, the 10% thing was just county tax, wasn't it? Or no, that was 10% of what your
it was
house is
everybody.
worth.
that was everybody.
It was everybody.
10%
Okay.
of your assessment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Why don't we do it this way so that we don't have to, because we have to pass the budget next month. Why don't we tentatively do the 2.75?
Okay, and
I
then we'll
will
find
check
out
with the courthouse to see if that,
how else you raise it. I mean, how,
then we'd have to lower.
We'll have
And it
It would be
wouldn't
a
do us any good.
2.47.
put a motion on the floor to do the 2.75 unless we find out
that
we
can
can't go
only
there,
do
then we
10%.
go to the maximum that we can.
Right.
How's that sound?
Yeah.
Sounds
Need a
fair.
motion.
I'll second it.
And a roll call vote, I believe. So we'll go Mr. Heaton,
Yes.
Mrs. Halpern,
Yes.
Mr. Bob Tate,
Yes.
Mr. Seibert,
Yes.
Mr. Jake Tate.
Heck no, I don't wanna raise taxes. I guess.
Got that gavel. Yes.
Jeez. Ryan,
Yes.
I got
Yeah,
you
yeah,
first,
yeah.
okay.
I wanna go on record by saying this is a terrible idea.
Okay,
Okay,
we
jot
can
that
put it
down
on,
in
I will put
parentheses.
that, I will
In
put that on
parentheses.
record, I
Yeah.
certainly will.
Now, if they do come back with the 10%, we're still gonna be short on the budget.
If you go back to 10%, and we'll have to make some concessions somewhere else.
We'll be short by about 2,000.
Pat, it's an election year.
Just take it out of the streets, because you ain't got enough
Don't
anyhow.
touch
I'll take it out of the
my
budget.
money. Don't touch my money.
Isn't that streets?
No, there's signs and stuff like that. So we put extra stuff on for signs and street signs and.
Whatever you would have for paving, because you're not gonna have enough money to pay, so just take it out of there.
Yeah, you guys can have
Yeah.
the paving money. I don't need it anyways.
30,000 isn't gonna do anything.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get any bidders.
I can get a driveway done for that.
Short one.
Okay, how did you word that again?
Did
Jake.
we do the 2.75
75.
7.5.
if permitted? If not permitted, then we go to the maximum we can legally do.
Okay. Okay, that's it.
Okay, so
Here, 2 out of 3?
at this time, citizens may comment on the information provided regarding an increase in taxes and their concerns. I don't hear
Other than
anybody.
what Kathy said. Go
I'm the
ahead.
only citizen here, I think.
Yeah.
But my question would be,
Wait, I think we have to make a motion to go to the citizens.
Okay, we'll move, okay.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Okay.
All
that's a
opposed?
stand,
All right, go ahead.
Just give us your name and address.
I'm already I have to stand up and give you my address?
No,
No, just give us your
No.
name and
I
address.
can look it up in another one.
3524 West Third Avenue, Susan Wood. My question is simply, forgive me for being uninformed, but I'm feeling like you were uninformed. What, if Kathy hadn't brought up the 10% thing, you wouldn't have known about the 10% thing if
Yeah.
indeed it exists, but, why did Kathy have to bring that up?
Well, there's no reason they would know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
there isn't, okay.
Pat,
Okay.
Pat
And
That's my
also,
question.
I would have
would
thought,
possibly know, but nobody
Joseph
else.
did.
I would have
That's
thought when
something-
Jason contacted the courthouse, that they would have told him something
Yeah, I
about
talked to
that.
Joseph.
Don't
he
always
didn't-
count on
Well,
that.
I said, I would
Yeah,
have
that's
thought.
true, yeah, because we just went by what Jason got
Yeah.
from
Joseph.
the assessment.
You would think they would have
office.
said, don't keep in mind, you can only go up 10%.
Yeah.
But they didn't say anything like that, so.
Yeah, so it's.
So we are
safe and sorry.
just as in the dark as everybody else,
Isn't that a shame?
Nothing apart,
Okay.
nothing.
but we will not do any more than we are
Not more than
permitted.
we've ever got.
Of course, I just,
I'm just gonna have to do.
Yeah.
I'm baffled by how things don't work.
Yeah,
It's fine.
you know, it comes,
Figure
it's
it
just, we are not
Especially if you get somebody to
informed
start taking care of that
from
kind of
what
stuff.
goes on in the courthouse. You know, it's
I mean,
unfortunate.
first week of
And
December.
we're the ones that have to make these motions and do what we have to do with taxes, and we don't know what we're doing. So,
Shame.
but,
In this age
yeah,
of
and I
information.
even talked to Josh about something and he never said anything, so,
Maybe it's not. but-
okay,
Cause
but
I even
I,
asked him, is that, can I go up like to 275, 3? He's like, yeah.
Well, then maybe it was just for the first year. I don't know, and I don't wanna commit to saying,
okay,
oh,
and
that's
that's
right,
okay.
and have it be wrong.
Yeah, but we will find out.
We're coming to your house later on,
Okay.
I'll be calling
have a
you
cup
on-
of coffee.
And I will call you on both phones. Both
I
phones.
won't answer because I'm calling ID.
So I guess that's it for citizens.
I do have one.
Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I think Sue's point is well taken.
I do too.
You guys gotta step up your game. You really do. This information's public. the old days of just sitting back, going through the motions. You really have to put the work into stepping up your game, doing the research, making the calls, whatever. Which leads me into my next point. Bob, I think you had the greatest question last meeting when you asked the citizens about their thoughts on raising taxes. And it really was impressive to me that they said, yeah, we're all for it. And I think they said they're all for it because they know what money gets spent on, and they know the needs of goods and services in this borough. So I would encourage you, moving forward, make it known to the citizens that you're raising taxes, but why? And these are the benefits. If you do not do that, you'll just continue the rancor, and have people come and want to peel off and join White Township and Beaver Falls. I mean, it's crazy how people are so uninformed, and I think it's part of your job to communicate that to the citizens, right? This recording will go a long ways to help, and a lot of people said, you know, that's great, I listened to those things, I feel more informed by that, but I think there really needs to be an effort. You've got the website, social media, to make all that case, you know, to the citizens, so we all know, and I think we all want the best, and I think we realize our financial situation, but you just gotta communicate that value proposition, or else it's, you know, they're not gonna get it and be mad at you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And we know how that goes, right?
Yeah.
So,
And
thank you.
All right, thanks,
I'm,
Kevin.
I'm sorry that we weren't as informed as we should have been, but, you know, you ask a question, you get an answer from the assessment office, and they're the
He asked
ones.
about, can they go though,
Yeah.
they said, yeah,
Yeah,
so
You
you have to
know.
make that assumption.
Yeah.
yeah, so, but we will definitely check on that, and we will do the minimum then.
Okay, we're going back to regular
So
business?
at this time, I think we need to make a motion for the changes that are gonna need to be made for the budget.
Okay,
So we need a motion.
Don't we have to wait
To
to see what
fix
we're
the
gonna
budget.
get?
We still have to,
now I
we
think
still have
what,
to do it.
I think the way that Bill,
Just take it out. Because we have 19,800. And we don't know if we're gonna get the 10% or we're gonna get or what we're gonna get
Yeah.
from assessment.
But we'll
But
know
we're
at the
still-
next meeting.
We still have to, we
Okay,
still
no,
need
that's
that preliminary
Motion.
budget tonight, right?
So you have to approve it at the next
That's what I
meeting.
mean.
no,
No,
we have to approve the final budget at the next
Next meeting.
meeting, so we
Okay.
can,
we just need a motion to fix the budget.
Well, once we find out what you pull in for the taxes, we'll be able to adjust.
So we don't
from
need to
there.
do anything else?
No, not till the next meeting, and we will have all of the information that we need to provide
The
the,
only thing you're gonna need to do at the next meeting, if indeed we do have extra, deciding where to put it.
yes. That's the only thing we'll have to do, and,
Should we talk about that now, or?
I've already said.
I
that's
feel
it.
like we're gonna get this. If they told you
Yeah, I
that you
can't
can
imagine
go.
that we're not allowed to raise.
Yes.
We haven't raised the taxes forever.
Then I would say the thing that's gonna need to work best is put the money in where you can get 50,000 for streets again, or 60,000. Maybe have a shot at getting some, because that's really what we put in.
And if not, if we can't get any bids, that money could roll over into next year's streets or not?
Well-
You can't roll it over, it has to go back into the budget, but you can spend it on other things.
yeah,
in
we
the
can,
borough.
Okay.
yeah.
Now, this is gonna sound weird, maybe. We
Or
normally,
deposit on the streets for next year, or for the following year.
What?
If we took that money, if you can't spend it on the streets next year, because
Can
we
we
can't get a
budget it
bid,
for the year
Can we
You know, like put it on.
put it on a
highway.
deposit
No.
for
We
next
already
year?
allocated that money for,
Okay, all right,
And-
it's gotta be used this year.
And it's like, when I talked with Chad about that, that's with the extra that we have, even if we go over budget, we're taking it from somewhere else and spending it, but it's money that we actually have in the general fund.
Okay.
so, we have to turn all this into the engineer, correct? Is that a must? You have
What
to,
engineer?
Widmer, like when we do roads.
No, what happens when you wanna do roads, when I've been doing like contact with her, try to get a general feel, and I give them a list of footages that we wanna do.
Sure.
And they bid that out, and then that's when we know what the price is.
But can we get around that? Like, can I just
Yeah, if
start
somebody,
calling everybody and say, hey, look, I got $60,000 to get as many roads as I can
if
done?
you're only gonna do the 50 or 60, but if you use liquid fuels, now you have to go into the liquid fuels and follow their guidelines
Yep.
and procedures,
Okay.
and that's what we use Whitmer for.
Yep.
Okay.
Because they know all the rules and regulations, they do the advertising. for
My
bidding.
my concern is we only get one bid. But if we go
What
with
we got this year.
smaller time people, like, we don't need the world's greatest paving company to come in here. There's a lot of guys that do driveways that
I
can
don't
do the
disagree with
exact
you at
same
all, but
job
we
that
have to
that guy
advertise.
can.
When
Right.
you're spending that kind of money, you gotta advertise, you gotta ask for bids.
But we advertise through Widmer. Is there any other ways we're allowed to
We
advertise?
don't advertise, we advertise through the paper
Paper,
as
right.
well.
Okay,
It has to go through the paper.
They just
It
give us
cannot
some
just,
guidelines or
yeah.
whatever.
right.
We've been with them forever.
Yeah.
Well, it's just weird that, nobody turns anything in
Yeah.
except for one person, and I don't know what the reasoning is
It's
for that.
too low of a bid.
Every,
Too low of a
every,
project.
I've been stopping and talking to people everywhere I can about this, and they're like, we didn't know anything about it. We don't get on Whitmer stuff, and I don't get the Beaver County Times, and I'm like,
I
well,
don't
that's
know if we can
understandable.
do a broad advertisement. Once we post it in the paper, I don't see why we would be allowed to
Posted, then we
communicate
can't
yeah,
get a
once,
hold of anybody.
Kevin,
to do that. And we say, hey, by the way, we're doing this. If you would like to put a
Right.
bid in, submit one. If-
Anybody could
Go to
submit
Whitmer's
bid.
website and get the
Right.
details. I don't think that's illegal. I think that's perfectly fine.
Right.
could we post something on our website once the bid has been advertised through the paper and through Whitmer? Would that be something that we could do so that we could perhaps get more bids?
I don't know of any prohibitions against
Yeah.
that.
No, once you
Okay.
advertise it, it's
Yeah,
out
once
there.
it's legally advertised,
So
we
then we
should
could
be
even
able.
just
Yeah, because
call.
I asked Fred.
We're not allowed to,
What's
we're not
his
supposed to
name?
go directly to
Garrett.
people.
Garrett.
Yeah, we
I can't say,
He
Ryan,
said,
you got
"I
a
would
company,
love to
come
do
bid
stuff
on
like
this.
that."
Yeah.
I said, that's what we do. We work for township,
Yeah,
for
We
smaller
can't-
jobs,
Sorry, you
but
don't have
Well,
my
that's
yeah,
what
we
we're gonna
can't
do.
You don't
directly
have enough
go to somebody and ask them to do it.
so how do
We
you
can let them know that we're putting the bid out there.
Yes, if you're interested, there's a bid on this website.
Yes,
There you go.
We might even be able to get a copy of that bid. I can't see why we should not be able to do that.
Yeah.
of what?
The bid for, we put it, whenever we're gonna advertise.
Well, what
I
about
have a
mailers?
copy of the ad.
You can't mail somebody and say, hey, we're gonna be doing these
You're not allowed to.
jobs.
We
We're not
cannot
telling them how much to
personally, we
do.
cannot personally solicit
Bids.
bids.
Like I said, I can't
It's
tell
no
Ryan,
different than
come-
me-
come bid.
Getting online and saying, hey, I don't understand.
I think, like he says, he can't tell me, hey, we're bidding this job. I think they're saying that they have to actively almost look for stuff like that to bid on.
Now, if
Yeah.
he's here and I say, Jake, how are you coming on that
It
bid?
does.
He hears
Like-
about it, that's different.
Yeah.
So I could call my brother Jeremy and say, hey, Jeremy, if you wanna tell your friends, that we're looking for bids, it would be no problem at that
I
point
don't
in
think
time.
that would be an issue.
He can
No.
reach out to anybody he wants
Yeah.
to.
Right.
Yeah, but,
Okay.
yeah,
But we can't,
She's fine, let her play.
I don't think we can tell them to bid personally.
You're
Yeah.
good, go play.
we cannot
Yeah.
personally ask for a bid.
I'm trying to get as many people involved as we
don't
I
can.
understand,
Well,
I
yeah,
agree.
it's-
When I go to a bid, I know that there's gonna be 4 other people showing up, cause that's how my job goes. So I know I've gotta be pretty low if I want that job. When you only have one person doing that guy, it's the same guy every time, and he knows, whatever I put on this is what they're gonna pay.
And I'm gonna wonder if they're gonna bid next year. Because they don't want, it's not worth their effort to move their equipment here for that little bit of money. What they classify as that little bit of money.
Who, Youngblood?
Dwayne's working for them
You
now,
know, they
right?
got bigger fish to fry. Like
Oh, yeah.
When did you see?
Yeah, we deal with them with the water authority.
Ken's working for
We're
them now.
low on their list.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I don't know, something like
May I
that.
Okay,
offer a
well, let's move
suggestion?
along, huh?
I don't think this would be prohibitive in any way, but why not reach out to people who do paving, small, large, and just say, hey, we'll be looking for pavers. Stay tuned, there will be bids out there, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just like, get your Rolodex together, right, as they used to say, right? And just so everybody
Well, no.
knows.
What about this? As citizens, you guys hear it on the recorder. It's now online. Let's say some random citizen decides that they want to make a post on behalf, not for West Mayfield, but their own post per se, and share that. That shouldn't be any issue.
Well, we don't know. Why don't we get with our solicitor and find out what we can legally do,
Okay.
Yeah,
and then go from there.
yeah.
You know, that way we'll cover the bases. If he says we can do all the, great. He says, you can't do this, at least we know.
Sure.
We're not trying to guess what we're doing.
Yep. Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at any point in time, the citizens can, take a hint and go crazy if they want
I
to.
don't think you can stop it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So could we get a hold of Mr. Joe before the next meeting? And tell him this ahead of time, if this is gonna be tabled, so that he can look into this and
But
have
this
an
doesn't,
answer.
this isn't gonna impact anything till
This
next year
doesn't
anyhow.
impact
we
anything
can ask
till
him
next year
anytime.
anyway.
It's not gonna have anything to do with the budget.
We're not doing a paving bid now.
Okay,
This is just
okay.
general conversation.
Okay.
Kathy?
Going back to what Kevin said about letting residents know about the tax increase. How do you plan on doing that?
Hello, William.
Hello, Billy.
Hi, Bill.
Suggestions?
How are we gonna do that? How are you gonna do that? Cause I don't wanna have to deal with it on an individual basis.
Yeah,
So are we gonna write a letter? What are we gonna do?
One of the things I was gonna be doing is I was gonna get in with Kevin and this little spreadsheet here. So I was gonna have that put up online.
But here's the thing, I
That-
don't look online,
Yeah, no, that we're gonna have to
you know.
do old school, go door by door.
Hey Kathy, wait a minute. Don't you have to send all these bills out?
Yeah, they come addressed and sealed from the
Oh,
courthouse.
oh, you can't slip something into it then.
No,
So if anybody's gonna yell, they're gonna yell at you.
yeah, and I'm gonna give them your phone number.
Okay,
Um,
I'm cool
The
with that.
other thing we could do is
I'm
go
good with
around
that.
door to door and say, hey,
Here's my other question, and
Janet
I
Elbing
may just,
raised
I may
taxes.
ruffle some feathers, but there's not a letter going out about future activities in the borough? Yes or no?
I think for the Christmas party. Is that
No,
what
just
you're
for the
talking about?
Christmas party,
And
which is,
I'm gonna do one for rec board, which we have a meeting the beginning of
So
December.
if we're gonna put postage on those, why not put 2 letters in the envelope?
We could do that, huh?
We
You're
could.
sending the letter out already, yes.
And then not spend twice as much money on
You're
postage.
still gonna get calls. I didn't see it.
Well,
So
Yeah,
yeah, you're gonna.
You're
you'll have
invited to our
deal
Christmas
with it.
party
You're never
also.
gonna be
Hey.
yeah.
yeah, I don't have anything to do with
Put
what
it in their
they're
mailbox.
sending
Yeah, you
out.
still
may
gonna
wanna
get
wait
those
till
calls.
after
Yeah.
we find out about the increase
Yeah.
and put
Hopefully they'll know
the
by
increase amount in that letter and let them know ahead of time. what they're
Good
gonna-
idea.
What they're
We'll
gonna
try
be
calling
looking
them.
at. I mean, it's stupid to mail 2 different mailings, it just is dumb.
But what other mailings going out?
About activities for next year, Parks
Okay.
and Rec.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, see, I didn't
Just
even know
me.
about that.
Yeah, so that's
You just found out, so did
that's
I.
on you, that's not
Yeah,
on
she
Jennifer.
said I didn't know
Correct.
about it.
Okay,
But I think somebody,
yeah,
Pat, Jenna, needs to write a letter and just, we'll fill in the blanks once we know what the answers are.
yeah, I'll go ahead and do that letter, you know.
Make sure you don't put our phone numbers.
Oh, there'll be no phone numbers.
Okay.
any calls, physical referrals.
You know,
I get a
dear,
phone call from
Yeah.
the-
just
Dear
dear
citizen, your taxes are going
residents,
up.
dear residents, we have decided to raise taxes, blah, blah, blah. Put the information that Jason has, how to figure out what your increase
that's
is
good.
gonna be.
When are we gonna look into the rental thing?
One
Next
thing at a
meeting.
time.
Don't,
Okay, so
That's
that
one
would
thing
be.
at a
hey,
Come on,
Don't
I gotta
drag
make
this out.
stuff, Amy.
I'm just, he brought it up
this isn't on the
before.
agenda.
Are we,
No.
in that letter, are we able to say, hey, we haven't raised taxes in so many years?
Sure.
Just
Oh,
to
that
make
would
it
be
sound
a
a
good
little
one.
bit better?
Yeah, and I'll dig back and see when exactly.
Yeah.
Tony Bona was the last time we raised taxes when he was president.
Whoa, that was a long time ago.
Well, I think it was what, 20, I looked it up and I can't remember.
I started in 2010
Oh, I was
and
on rec board.
we haven't done it since then, so it
Yeah.
has
But
to
I
be
wasn't
before
on
that.
It was
Council.
before 2010, I know it was.
Yeah, Tony Bona was president then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was like 2002 or something like that. I can't remember because I did look it up. And it's been the same millage all along because nobody wanted to raise taxes.
Well, everything's going up, our stores prices
Yeah.
are gonna go up.
Yeah,
Sorry for the inconvenience, but your taxes are going up.
Well, I mean, maybe if they would have done it gradually every 3 years or something, it would be an easier cushion, but
and
that's the
I'm-
past and now's the future.
yeah, and I think Bob had a good idea, raise it a little bit this year, and if we need more, then we can raise it a little bit more the next year.
You'll notice it just starts.
Yeah,
Unless you check your bills
If it
from
makes you
last
feel
year.
any better, I think Patterson Township is raising theirs this coming year too.
yeah,
I heard that a couple days ago.
yeah.
Okay.
What's next?
Nothing.
That's it?
Adjournment.
Thank you.
Adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in
Thank
favor?
y'all for coming.
Bye.
Somebody
Have a
ask
happy
them.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving.
everyone.